Hi guys, so if you want to understand statistics, if you want to understand science, if you want to understand trends, it's not an expert you need to listen to in these areas. It's Anne Widdecombe, former Brexit Party MEP. Now, this is Jeremy Vine. I'm not very familiar with Jeremy Vine. I know he's some sort of shock presenter, talk show guy. And he's going to show a trend graph here about the vaccine rate rollout. And he's going to say how, well, look, the UK is leading. That means Brexit is some sort of success. Of course, if you park for a moment the fact that the fishing industry is collapsing, that exports have dropped 40%. If you ignore all of that and just focus on this sliver of data, which isn't complete, but let's get to what he and Anne Widdecombe have to say about it. But if you focus just on that, then yes, Brexit is some sort of success. Okay, let's hear what they had to say.
This is so dramatic. This is just European countries. Spain, Germany, Italy, France, Bulgaria is doing badly. This is the percentage of the population vaccinated, and you can see...
No, wait, Jeremy. Vaccinated. Not completely vaccinated. But let's get to the point.
That they're between all those big European countries, between 10 and 15%, Bulgaria barely at 5%, and the UK pushing 40%. I mean, it's such a telling graph, Anne Widdecombe, isn't it?
Yes, Brexit saves lives.
Brexit saves lives. Okay, well, first of all, this has nothing got to do with Brexit. And I've talked about this before, the closest you could get to this is maybe a Brexit mentality in order to go against the European Union. But it was never actually a requirement of Brexit. It was not necessary to leave the European Union in order to start the vaccination process before the other European countries. But let's hear what else she had to say.
You think it's Brexit, do you?
Well, the fact that we were able to say no to the proposition that the whole thing should be centrally organised by the EU, that we said no, and that Boris then, and I give him huge praise for this, just said, right, we'll commission in advance, even before these things have been tested. We're going to commission in advance huge quantities of it so that we can get our population vaccinated. And I think I've criticised a lot that Boris has done on COVID, and I continue to do so. But he's certainly got the vaccines right. And I'm sorry for the citizens in other countries, in the EU, but also in other countries, who haven't had that sort of management by objective, which we've had here.
Okay, well, so if you look at it from this point of view, look, the UK is way ahead. Now, look, I'm not a fan of this idea of competition. We all need to be vaccinated. Everyone in every part of the world. It's not a competition between the UK and the EU, or the EU and America, or America and North America and South America, or Australia and other countries. It's not a competition, okay? There's no victory at the end of it. If there is a victory, it's for the entire world, that we protect everyone on the planet. But if you want to play these sort of games, then it seems the UK is way ahead. But that's on the first jab. It's not the complete vaccination. And I'll leave a link to this information in the description of the video. You can see here, COVID-19 rollout, which countries in Europe is leading the race? And once again, I don't like the use of race here because it shouldn't be considered a race. Anyway, it says here, what percentage of the population is fully vaccinated? Because one aspect is, yes, you have a certain section of society have received the first jab, but they haven't received the second jab. So until they have received the second jab, they're not fully vaccinated. Now, there are arguments to be made about the quantity, the amount of protection that people have if they have the first jab or the second jab. I'm not going to get into that. But if your argument is the UK is leading and this is some sort of benefit of Brexit, well, it sort of falls apart when you look at the actual data. So it says here, percentage of population fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The first is Serbia, which has a percentage of 11% fully vaccinated against 89% who haven't been vaccinated yet. Malta, 9%. Norway, 4.9%. Denmark, 4.7%. Poland, 4.2%. Hungary, 4.1%. Slovenia, 4.1%. Slovakia, 4.1%. Estonia, 4%. Greece, 3.9%. Iceland, 3.9%. Cyprus, 3.8%. Spain 3.7, Germany 3.7, Romania 3.7, Sweden 3.6, Lithuania 3.6, Italy 3.5, Belgium 3.5, Ireland 3.5, France 3.4, Portugal 3.3. I'm going to read through. Then we have Austria, Czech Republic, Netherlands, Luxembourg, and then we have the United Kingdom at 2.5%. So the United Kingdom is somewhere between Croatia and Luxembourg in regards to the percentage of the population fully vaccinated. Now, I think for Brexiteers, they prefer to look at this graph. I prefer to look at the fully vaccinated graph. But at the end of the day, this is not a race, and stop calling it a race. There are no prizes for coming first, because even if you do come first in this, you're not going to be able to reopen your economy straight away. You're not going to be able to just open the doors, because there will still be requirements to have some sort of restrictions in place. I know the Brexiteers consider this as some sort of, we're winning, is a zero-sum game for them. We're winning and the EU is losing in some way. There are a whole number of political problems surrounding the vaccinations and the vaccine and the production of them and the rollout of them and the selling of them and the exports of them and whatever. But as a community around the world, we have to come together. We have to put aside who's winning and who's losing and work together to fight this pandemic. Because as some people have said, until all of us are vaccinated, until all of us are protected, none of us are protected. And, all it takes is for a certain part of the world, of the globe, not to be protected in order to allow new variants to develop. And if those new variants are a problem for the vaccine to fight against, then we're all in serious trouble. So we all need to work together to fight this, to eliminate it where possible. And we can't have this idea of we're winning and they're losing. Because at the end of the day, as I've said, if we're not all protected, in a sense, we're all vulnerable. This is not a benefit of Brexit, as I've said before. It was never necessary for the UK to leave in order to roll out the vaccine or to authorize it. It decided to do that. Maybe at the end it may work out as a massive benefit for the UK, but at the moment, in regards to full vaccinations, the UK is pretty much average. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?